Hey guys, Alessio, hope you're well. I want to bring your attention to a very dangerous level that the financial markets have just hit, in fact, as I'm making this video. And also guys, in this video, we'll take a look at the time machine indicator and let's see what this potentially is telling us as well about the charts of the stock markets. So let's go back here to this chart. This is a chart of the S&P 500, one of the most important indexes in the world. Essentially the index, the 500 largest companies in the world. And look where the stock market is hitting right now as we're making this video. Take a look and you'll see this was the high of the stock market in 2007, just before the crash that occurred in 2008. We've connected the high here to the highs of 2017. So we've connected two highs to make this trend line, this red line you see here. And guess what? We are now hitting that trend line resistance. And as you know from technical analysis, trend line resistance levels like this are what usually produce reversals, okay? Some kind of a bearish reversal. Now, I should just say there's no confirmation yet of a reversal. There is as yet no reversal signal. However, the markets are now hitting an important level of resistance where there could actually be a potential turning point or potential reversal from here. So as you can see here, we hit that level, as a matter of fact, on Friday. Now, I'll come back to that chart in a few minutes, but let me also say this. Every now and then I get comments from trolls, essentially people who should know better. But every now and then I get these uneducated comments from, again, internet trolls who say, oh, Alessio is always bearish. Alessio is always talking about a drop in the stock market, but it never happens. Really? It never happens? Well, let's take a look, guys. This is a chart on the stock market just in the last 6 months. And you will see here that just in the past 6 months, we've had at least 2, if not 3 major drops on the stock market. One of them was back in May, which I correctly called, and it dropped quite severely, as you can see here, back in the month of May. And one important one occurred in the month of August. Also, another move down, which I correctly predicted. And this one was so severe, this drop down here was so severe and sharp that the mainstream media was talking about it quite a lot, as you can see here.
We're looking now at the Dow is down now 504 points. And we know, Matt, the markets do not like this. They don't like uncertainty.
So guys, we've had at least 2, if not 3 major and significant drops just this year. And by the way, guys, in November and December of last year, I called for a major drop in the stock market, as you can see here in this video. If the markets break this level, brace for impact. I also, again, reminded about this in this video here and also in this one. A dangerous signal just flashed on the markets. And look what happened. The markets saw a major drop. As we see here, this is the month of December. Boom, the markets dropped from there several hundred points. That drop there actually made me £6,000, almost £6,000 of profit. I risked about £350 and I made about £6,000, as you can see there. So guys, I really wish that the internet trolls, instead of posting silly and ridiculous comments which embarrass themselves, why don't they just actually educate themselves by reading some great books like Market Wizards or Trading Sardines by Linda Rashke, you know. But of course, they don't listen, do they? So again, going back to this chart, again, the markets are hitting a very important level of resistance. And according to our time projection or time machine indicator, as I sometimes call it,
into the future.
The German DAX here, which I'm looking at, often the German DAX can be a useful indication here. This chart in the German stock markets says to us that we likely have a time projection, a time cycle projection here coming through towards the end of this week. In other words, by Friday of this week. Now, the time cycle projection here that occurred some weeks ago in October, again, the way I use this time projection indicator here is I always combine it with price action. So I never use time cycles just on its own. I always combine time with price. So both of them together. So here we can see as the German DAX is falling into an important support level with time resistance, time projection here, it brought about actually quite an important reversal to the upside here in the stock market. So here, assuming the German DAX is going to potentially rally towards the end of the week, which it's potentially likely, then I'm going to look for any sort of price resistance. So we're going to look for price resistance combined with time resistance here. That's potentially coming through by the end of the week, by Friday, that might bring about some kind of reversal. Now, going back to this chart in the stock market here, the market essentially is hitting a level. If the market's going to make a reversal, it needs to happen in the next 2 weeks. Again, potentially in the next week is coming right now, but again, it has to be in the next couple of weeks. If it doesn't do that, if the market does not make a reversal, then guess what, guys? That means we're potentially heading a lot higher. So if the market does not reverse from here, and instead, I mean, there is a risk of this, we need to consider. There is a risk the market could completely ignore this trend line and just continue to push higher. If it does that, which again is not something I'm expecting, but if it does do that, then I will have to change my mind and become a lot more bullish on the stock market. All right, guys, the bottom line is this, though. I am not going to stand in front of the stock market. Okay, that's a bit like standing in front of a freight train. At the moment, the momentum is still with the bulls. So I don't want to stand in front of this. It's too risky. So I'm just going to wait patiently until we get some kind of reversal signal. All right, guys. So let's just be patient and be cautious. And once that occurs, then we could see a major drop here in the markets. All right, guys, just want to let you know this Thursday, I'm doing a very important webinar. It's a free and live webinar this Thursday on 21st of November on intelligent secrets to analyzing charts. It's going to be a very important webinar. I'm going to share with you some of the key lessons of 2019, some of the key important chart secrets that I'm going to talk to you about in this webinar. So to register, just go ahead to this link. Again, it's a free and live webinar. Go to leadingtrader.com/wisdom, register on that page, and I'll see you guys in the webinar. Thanks very much indeed. Bye for now.